Welcome back to another episode of the Weekly DLC. I'm one of your hosts, Kurosh, joined always by my co-host, Daniel Vargas.
Hello.
And Daniel Jang.
Onigre.
If you're not familiar with what we do, we come to you each and every week to podcasting services of your choice. You just press start, as Vargas is showing on our YouTube, and then you find us on the places that Jang has on his card.
At the Fulio, you're an imposter.
We're coming for you. And we have podcasting services, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, wherever. We're there. And we sit around a table. We talk about nerdy stuff, movies, games, comics, a little bit of everything in between. We kind of got a little bit of nice everything today. And yeah, we have fun. We hope you have fun with us. Please leave a review or a like or anything. We really appreciate it. It goes a long way. And with that, so this is going to be a little jarring, and it's a little bit of a switch. But we've been going with chat at the end. We will continue to be going that way, except this episode where we're going to be doing something about a spoiler-related topic at the end. So we want to kind of like, if you don't want to listen to that, you can just end before, and then you're good.
Or untether.
Or untether from that segment. Yeah.
Fucking spoilers already.
We were talking about Destiny.
We're talking about Tetherball.
And Tetherball.
The Shadow Hunter.
Shadows died twice. Destiny 2. No, so with that, I just want to go around the room and ask, what have you guys been up to?
I watched a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I saw Shazam. I saw Ush. I saw Ush. And I also saw, I don't know what else I saw. I just saw those two
Is it?
things. I think so.
I thought you said something else.
Probably did. I don't remember though.
Love, sex, and robots.
I haven't finished
Love,
it.
death, and
Oh,
robots.
yeah?
I haven't,
finished it?
that first night I watched like all of it almost, and that's it. I haven't gone
Dude,
back
it
to
takes like half an hour.
I know. I'm like 10 minutes into finishing it. I haven't seen any of it.
People I've talked to have either like watched all of it and they're done, watched a good chunk of it and have just like a very tiny bit left,
Which is where I'm at.
or like watched one and they're like, I'll get to it.
Damn. Or watch none.
So I guess that answers whether you watched any. I mean, last episode you're like, I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Dude, and then I've put myself in so many games right now, dude.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I know last
I'm
time
playing-
you talked about Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I was like, I'm still playing Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
I've been playing
Sekiro.
I've been dabbling. I've been dabbing in it, you know. World of Warcraft still, and now I've added.
We got them back, guys.
And now I've added Oblivion. No,
Oh,
Morrowind.
Morrowind.
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls Morrowind.
They gave it out for free.
Yeah.
Is this Skyrim?
It is the before Skyrim.
Before Oblivion.
So it goes.
I don't know what the order is.
So yeah, it's
Fourth,
Elder Scrolls
third.
Morrowind.
What's the third one?
Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Elder Scrolls Skyrim.
Do those words mean anything?
They do. It's the continents, I believe, like the islands or whatever, land.
Land masses?
Yeah,
So like Astaroth and
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
what's the other one?
Kalimdor.
Tested you.
You got it right. He is the chosen one.
Well, technically, Azeroth is like the whole world.
Oh,
and so
then what's the
there's
two? What are the two?
Kalimdor and I don't know what the fuck that one. Shit, that's old content, bro. No one goes there anymore.
Vanilla, dude. You got to be up to date, dude. Vanilla's coming out.
Shit.
Some street cards. Okay, so you're playing a lot of games.
I've been playing a lot of games.
Are
and
you
I
enjoying
feel-
a lot of these games, or is it taking a toll on you?
It's taking a toll because I enjoy one specific game that I kind of want to just continue playing, but I feel so bad, like Assassin's Creed still.
Okay.
And I kind of like, I'm getting in the mindset like I should just like do the main story content, not like go out everywhere and do everything I possibly can. Because the thing is, like, when the game first came out, max level was 50. And it slowly increased. It is 99, I believe.
Does
now.
the game scale to that? Like, can you still?
I believe
is
it
all the
does.
content now like require a higher level, or
It scales, but it's kind of weird. So there's islands that are scaled to a higher difficulty.
Okay.
And I think when you get there, it just starts scaling to your difficulty.
Okay.
So like right now, there's places I can go to where it's too difficult for me. Like the characters are like a skull. Like I don't even know what the hell
can't
they are.
even do anything.
Yeah.
I see.
But if I get to that level, then they start leveling with me. So then it's
Okay.
so they'll stay that level the whole time. And then once I get to, let's say they're 75, if I get to 76, they'll all turn into level 76 or something.
Okay, got it.
So it stays that way.
So what's stopping you from enjoying that one? Like, why do you...
I just feel bad not playing these other games I've gotten, essentially.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I know that struggle.
So watch those 2 movies, and I've been playing a lot of games.
Okay. We'll be talking about one of them today. Will we? You guys down to talk about the other one another time?
Yeah.
I'm down.
Okay. Jang, what have you been up to?
I watched a lot of movies this weekend.
Yeah.
The same 2 movies.
Oh, okay.
Shazam. First 10 minutes. Good world building. Fuck.
I'm interested.
It's not as I know you don't like things hyped up, but it's not as good as Guardians of the Galaxy. But damn,
How does it get compared to that though?
because that's like the epitome of. I think that's what they were going for. They wanted to
vibe
make
of it?
something fun and
I
like,
see.
yeah, he's obscure character, fun, not known, and so
Okay. But is it like in space or like an ensemble and?
no.
Okay. Okay. I feel like there's enough there to like be different, and I could be, like not have that because I worry sometimes. I'm like I'm just gonna constantly be thinking of that comparison. If it was like hey here like Suicide Squad, I had that comparison with the trailer. I was like this is an ensemble. They're trying to make it fun. They got cool music in the trailer. I feel like I can keep it separate.
Have you seen how that guy looks like the wizard? Have you seen pictures of how he looks like?
The actor?
Yeah, no, or in the movie.
Oh, in the movie, no.
Okay, then I don't. We're not gonna spoil.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Us. It's good. I want to rewatch it. I haven't felt like that since Into the Spider-Verse, and I didn't rewatch Into the Spider-Verse. But that's a movie I want to rewatch because the more I thinking about it, and the more I'm looking into theories, I'm like, damn, dude, this is really fucking deep.
Okay.
And it takes a while to digest, and I was just like, And then haven't been streaming.
You did a little bit last night.
Yeah, I think that was I played Sekiro once before that, so that was the second
okay.
time playing, and I've realized I strayed from the path. I skipped bosses 2, 3, and 4.
I thought you were the path of streaming.
Fought bosses 5 and 6, and I'm like stuck on 7. I'm like, why is this so hard?
Blood level 4.
Oh my god!
Body's like instinctually like he's got to stick with the way.
Oh my god, dude! And I'm like that boss. I'm like no hit runs. Like I've understood her, but I didn't realize she had a second form. And when I found out, I was like, oh, I'm done. I'm done with the stream because it doesn't tell you like so in the game. There's like these red orbs that tell you that's a death blow. I got her with the death blow. I was like, yes, I killed her. She starts laughing and oh fuck!
Wait,
she gets another life bar and a fucking another.
Is this the one with the lines or the
Yes,
string?
yes.
I saw someone stream this. That fight looks fucking crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. It's you got to be on point. And also like you have to have fought bosses 2, 3, and 4 because you should have 4 healing drinks. I only have 2. I read a guide that said you need to have 4 healing drinks, and I'm like, fuck, dude. And
Blood level.
she's like almost one-shotting me. It's not.
okay.
It's like a 2-shot kill.
Is there a blood level 4 equivalent for this yet? Like have people talked about that in the community?
Damn, is that even fucking possible? It's probably possible. You're got to be a god, dude, to do a blood level 4 run.
Well, I've been watching speedrunners, and like right now it's. I think it's under an hour beating the whole game. Yeah. Well, I guess,
but like
I believe it's any percent. So they do like there's the certain bosses
Skipping.
you have to beat. But yeah, they're skipping bosses that are optional and stuff like that. And it seems like a lot of them are still like they're building their power, building the.
But does this game have anything that you guys know of where people are like 3-harding it or like minimizing?
Yeah, I think it's just because it does have upgrades. So I think it would be just no upgrade essentially.
It's fucking possible. It's fucking hard.
Okay. No one's done it though.
No, no one's doing that yet. No.
Okay.
Hobbs got it, dude.
Is he a streamer?
He's the guy who does the
He's
no
been
hit,
streaming it too.
no hit Dark Souls.
Yeah,
run.
the whole series.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and if he gets hit, he redoes it.
Fuck.
Starts from the beginning again.
Yeah, from
Wow.
Yeah. He did it though. He finished it.
yeah, he did it,
Testament to.
but he failed. I think he was in a Dark Souls 3. He did Demon Souls to Dark Souls 3, and he got hit. He's like,
Yeah, he got hit by like a
gotta
regular minion, and he's
fucking
like,
start over.
nah, and he like literally has to start all over to the beginning.
What that does to the psyche, like, man.
But the accomplishment.
What did it cost him? Everything.
Yeah.
So you've been playing that. What you haven't been streaming? Have you been busy?
I've been playing Crypto the Necrodancer.
Oh, really? I saw
Offline.
you playing a little bit before the stream.
Yeah, it's hard.
Or the podcast.
I hope they like make it easier for the Nintendo, dude. It's hard. It's fucking hard. I barely beat the first boss once.
Okay.
Harder than Sekiro, dude. Woo!
Damn, gauntlet thrown.
But
Okay, I'm good. It seems cool. The music has a cool vibe to it.
dude, the music is dope. And then I went to a video game release party. What did it cost?
Release party?
Pre-release party. What did it cost? Everything.
Free game.
what happened?
No, I was just tired. Talked to like a couple streamers. They wanted to recruit me, but lone wolf.
What pre-release was this for?
Days Gone.
Oh, the PS4 game?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it PS4 exclusive?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Played a little bit of it. It's all right. It's nothing stood out. So
Yeah, do you have any early impressions besides that?
nothing really stood out. Like I was just like, it
What
felt
intrigued
like
you to go to this event, though?
it's a video game party.
Okay.
Usually they're pretty good because we've been to a couple. I've only remembered 2 that were bad, but every single one, the Cuphead one was good. Ori was good. Rhythm Heaven, probably the best one. That one was the best one. There was no food though, but there was
'Cause it's-
alcohol.
I think that was the best one because it was such a good party game. So you
Yeah.
could literally pick it up with anyone. So
Okay.
like while someone's playing,
It
there,
caters
it's like,
itself to a party.
Yeah, and it works so well. Like you met new people, you became friends with them, you played a game together.
Oh, okay.
All the other ones were kind of like head to head, or it was just 2 players max kind of
see.
thing.
PlayStation All Stars was okay. You went to that one, right?
But that one wasn't like.
Did you learn anything cool at this event? Like, was it just them showcasing the game, or was it them like talking? Or?
They did talk. They did a little bit
developers were there?
of Q&A. Some of the developers were there. They did a little bit of Q&A. The voice actor was there.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it was cool. There was a lot of PlayStation people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know he's done the voice of Darth Maul in the animated Clone Wars. He's done Starkiller from The Force Unleashed.
Oh shit.
And voice and mocap. And then he's done his live action role. I remember him from Battlestar Galactica. He was in season 1.
Oh shit.
No.
He looks like the main character in the game.
Yeah, I
With
mean they did
short
mocap.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He's a cool actor. Yeah.
yeah,
I like
that's
him.
cool. But
Okay.
I highly recommend. Free alcohol.
Highly recommend the party.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
I
the
was about
food,
to, like,
but the
game.
food, dude. They brought it out every hour. I got 1 chicken wing, but it was fucking delicious. But yeah, dude, just people just took all the food, like just very inconsiderate, and
Was it overcrowded? Did they like stuff more people than they should have, or
I felt like it wasn't, and I
Okay,
just
that's good.
felt like they were throttling the food. It's like, bro,
was there still people like waiting outside to try to get in, or
No.
did they just at a certain point just cut it off?
just there was no line. It wasn't that packed. It wasn't
Really?
that packed. Yeah.
I wonder if I wanted to go, but I couldn't. But
You
if
feel
I
like it
just
would have been
went,
too late.
huh?
You feel like it would have been too late when you had gone.
No, I wanted to. I just had a commitment that day already, and I was like, fuck, I can't go. And I wonder if they're there and they're not like super packed. If I just talk to one developer,
Easy.
like
It would've
the
been easy.
entire day,
It would've been
like,
easy.
It was like 6 hours, right?
Yeah. It would have been easy because,
But like, would they be willing to do that? Like,
I think,
or
so.
would they be like, all right, I gotta go?
No, I don't think so. I felt like what I saw when they were talking to other people, it didn't feel like that.
Cool.
Like they were like this. I wanted to talk to the marketing dude, and this one lady was just talking to him forever,
Oh.
dude. I was like, dude, like 45 minutes, dude.
See, but I feel like talking like that as opposed to having like equipment in front of their face, like, hey, I want to do an interview. Like that's like they might be like,
No, I wouldn't want to. I would just want to chat with them and
gotcha.
learn from them.
Gotcha.
And then like if they were cool, or if we get to the point, be like, hey, in the future, would you be interested in doing something like talking to us or something?
Yeah.
But I think that sort of venue wouldn't be conducive of like mic setup. This.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I agree. That wouldn't be good.
I had to flex on him with the PlayStation backpack. So many people asked about it, or there was a lot of PlayStation people like, "Oh shit, that's a cool backpack." Like, I was like, "What did it cost?" Everything.
a lot, just a lot.
Did you do anything else this weekend?
I think so. No.
Nothing.
What did I do something that you're implying that I forgot?
I mean, I could talk about it. Sure. We went to
Battle. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot to.
Passport.
Jog your memory.
Passport to the Iron City.
Best team.
Yellow.
Best team. Last
Yellow.
team.
Hey, we were first timers, so just
Hey, we were 3 people. I thought we did pretty good.
Great positioning for first time is all I gotta say.
we should have got more points than the parts one. I thought we got everything good. I don't
Yeah,
know why.
some high pieces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why we didn't get the full 2,000.
I think the reason. No, I think it's because we didn't do one of the events. There was this behind the smelling lady.
Yeah,
There was an event. There was another one that we just were like, we'll get to that one.
and we never got.
And
to it.
time just got the best of us.
So all I wanted to explain was one of the events was they made us choose someone with their attributes, their strengths, and they chose me for strength. And god damn it, dude! Well, you know what? So there was a moment after that so I had to run in place on this metal pad, and I guess like it just counts
Gives a score.
Yeah, it counts as steps or something. And when I got out, I was like, lightheaded, and I was trying to tell you guys something, but I was out of breath. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, you had that one.
But
you
you
had
could
the
explain
vision one.
the
Yeah, the
other
vision.
events.
Yeah, I had dexterity, so it was just like
That was a
put
hard
pins
one.
yeah, that was. They're like slightly angled positions, and you're just like trying to get as many in the board as
But
possible.
what's funny is
It's
in
like
the
a
beginning,
pop it.
The beginning they asked for like our greatest strengths, and we're all choosing,
we
like,
collect-
he's-
we
he's
decide.
that. We decided. So they're like, he's good at that. He's good at this. He's good at that. And then when they randomly choose us, they choose the worst person or someone who wasn't it wasn't their
your
strength
flaw? Yeah.
to do it. And I'm like, fuck, they got it. It's real fucking good.
Hey, well, you killed or both of you guys killed the searching one, the
You s-
picture,
well,
the
yeah.
hammer or whatever.
But still, you got the most points though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You got
Well, what did it
2,000, bro.
cost?
That's speed.
What did it cost?
Yeah. That was, so Battle Angel Alita had like an experience to go, and we enter. They had like a bar where we come in, and they had like 7 or 8 teams. And you start learning that it's an escape room, and they have like it's what I'm used to with escape rooms is it's an isolated room, much like this room, and your team is trying to get out of this room,
Yeah.
and it's like a singular team, not like collective teams. This one was more in the line of like there's like 7 or 8 stations with different tasks and puzzles and objectives, and your team is trying to get the most points in that set time while everyone else is also as well.
I think the biggest difference between regular scripts and this one is this one had characters. Like it had people playing role playing characters
That are interacting with you.
and so that makes it expensive. All these people obviously are getting paid.
Well, I mean, I'm
to
not
be
saying
doing
anything about the expense, but I'm just saying like it's not like your traditional escape room, and it was a cool, different escape
And I
room.
have to say, I'm really glad we did it because, like, I feel like it's one of those experiences that aren't going to be many out there. Like, many escape rooms are not going to have these character, these in-game type characters.
Well, hopefully, if this does well, I don't know if this is like a company working with the LA thing.
Just looking at the way like they were advertising it at towards like the halfway point and on, like they were giving out tickets. Like at
Yeah,
that point.
we got in for free.
Yeah,
But those are
feel,
$45.
Well, then it's up to like use. I feel like when I looked up reviews of it, like it had a specific page for this specific event, and people were like, "This was a lot of fun." It was 4 or 5 stars,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of reviews. I think that's good buzz
It's crazy, and people paid $45
I mean, some people paid full price,
It's
but
per person or per team.
per person.
I mean, I think that's on par with like I don't know what an average escape room costs.
I don't
But
think it's 45.
I don't think it's 45.
I mean, you get what you pay for.
You do,
Sure.
which is exactly. But the thing is, like, I don't feel like it's sustainable. So I don't feel like this is going to be very often.
Okay.
The chances are very small to see someone where you're going to have people interacting while you're doing an escape room.
Sure.
Normally, it's just you're trapped in a room.
Hopefully, you could see it at like maybe a pop-up thing at Universal. They're like, hey, instead of just doing this, let's have like 7 teams, but it's shorter. Like scale it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That could be interesting. But I enjoyed it. That was good. And then in addition to that, we went to
Apple Pen, Jack Black.
And extremely
It was-
disappointed.
Yeah, it was okay.
Extremely.
Extremely.
The pie
How
was
high was your height? Like, were
as
you-
high as the cost was.
I mean, we ordered a lot,
yeah, we fun.
We did, but I still don't feel like the price should have been there. I expected
and
like
it's
$20
like
less.
it's not a franchise.
$20 less.
I like the crunchiness, but the taste in and out does better. But it was cool.
I like the total package. I didn't like any one thing a lot, but just like the diner vibe.
Oh,
everything
yeah,
was,
yeah.
it was nice. It's quaint.
Yeah.
Sorry, did you have anything else?
That's it.
For me, I watched Us. I did not watch Shazam. I did Pokemon Go Community Day. Was on Saturday, so did that. I haven't had a chance to play as much as I usually do, but Community Day is a lot of fun. Like it's just like a good vibe. Everyone's out. You see familiar faces.
Is there usually like a buff or whatever, or like
usually there's an additional bonus to in addition to the Community Day being like focused on one, or the time period being focused on just one Pokemon, and a high chance of getting a shiny variation of it or several of it. You get bonuses like double XP on catches on everything, or hatch eggs 4 times faster, or extra start, like something to pair with it.
Gotcha.
So that makes it fun. And then I've been playing this board game. I don't think I mentioned. It's called Now Boarding. Sure. It's like you and 4 other friends maximum. Like it's a 5-person game, a cooperative game, sort of like Pandemic, if you're familiar with that. It's like as a team, you're trying to complete an objective or prevent something from occurring.
Yeah.
And what you're an airline for America, and it has some major airports like Seattle, Chicago, Dallas, Fort Worth, not John Wayne, LAX, Miami, and a few others, JFK. And each of you has a certain airplane, and you all have a starting place, and you have universal routes, and you have specific to your airplane route, and you have a basic speed and a basic passenger limit at the beginning. And the deck has a series of cards for morning flights, afternoon flights, and evening flights, and it escalates because those times of days get more busy.
Right.
And your goal is to not get 3 complaints from passengers. The way to get a complaint is anyone who's still at a terminal at the start of the next round gets an angry token. And if a passenger gets a potential passenger gets up to 4 angry tokens, they turn into a complaint. So you're trying to prevent that. So you board people, you give them like 4 layovers, you like keep them like refresh, because once they get picked up, their anger goes away. But when you drop them off at another airport, as long as it's not the same airport, it starts over.
I feel like they would get angry in real life though.
No, they would, but it also would hurt. It would be a detriment to you if you keep just bouncing them, because the way in order to do that, it would take too much effort to do it that long. You would want to take them, and what each passenger completing a route gives you money to increase your space in your specific airplane or increase your speed. And so you're working collectively, like, I can drop this person at Chicago. Can you pick him up and take him to Miami? I'll drop this one for JFK. You take, and you're like frantically working as a team. It's pretty fun. Like once you get everyone on the same page. One of our friends is a pilot.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I was like, man, he's going to teach us the way.
He's like, this is not accurate. Excuse me.
No. He was like, all right, yeah, don't try to do the full length of this trip. Don't go from like Miami to LAX. Drop him off at like Dallas, and I'll take him from. And I was like, all right, cool. He knows what he's doing. We got close to winning, but we lost still. Because it's like if you get to the last pile, you have one more round to complete as many flights as possible. And for every passenger that's either on a plane or in the terminal at the end of the game, you just start adding angry tokens, and you get. It's a high chance you'll get a complaint or 2.
Gotcha.
So I did that. I've been playing a lot of Destiny still. I'm chipping away at things. I'm actually close to another title. I was working on the Gambit title. Now I'm working on this title for the Dreaming City. So it's like the Shattered Throne has specific loot for it. There's a bunch of guns and stuff and loot. And I was like, oh, I only have like 3 more things to get. Turns out they're like the 3 hardest things to get. But one of them is specific to a specific.
This is breaking the crystals or whatever?
No. Well, I mean, that's one of the ones, but I can do that one. That
Okay.
one's easy. This one's about, there's 3 triumph, like you need a series of triumphs to be completed in order to get the seal as like a title. Sort of like, I guess, an achievement in some ways. And so 2 of them are just like find these random like collectibles, which I can. There are not that many left. And then the third one is get every piece of gear that is considered a part of the collection for this region.
Yeah.
And the 3 I need are specific to certain activities being RNG dropped. And complaints have been coming up for a while where it's like, this is not, I've done this for 4 months and it still hasn't dropped. And they're like, we're going to tune it to make it drop more. I got one of those 4 to drop for me yesterday after like 2 tries. So I was like, all right, I'm close. I can do this. So there's that. Pokemon Go. I achieved something. I've been playing Tetris and cardio, and I finally got a win.
While running.
I was like, I need to take a video because no one's gonna believe me.
I can see the thing like you're running. And
Well, doesn't it show up on your stats?
It does, but I meant like that I was doing it while I was on cardio. I wanted that to be like, can you get a win? Can you get it on?
Did you do the John Wick move?
You said you were going to bait him, and then
I was messing around earlier. I was like, I'm going to try this strategy. Every time I fuck myself over. So the strategy was like, there's modes you can target your trash, and attackers targets anyone who's attacking you. It's kind of like rebound, and KOs goes for anyone that's close to dying, and you can finish them off. And when you get someone that's died, you get their badges, which makes it so the more junk you send, the less junk you send, the more it'll do in the future, which is good in late game. So what people will do is they purposefully set themselves up to be near the top and dying, but like have a clear line of sight to like drop a fuck ton, and that sets them up to trigger to anyone that's going for KOs. So then they start targeting you automatically, and then you switch to attacker, and that targets all of them, and then you drop all your junk.
And that's the best feeling in the world when you KO, like, oh, all right, motherfucker, do, KO, just big yellow sparks, boom, boom, KO.
It can get distracting because every time it does that, the bottom of your section isn't visible.
Right,
I'm like,
that's true.
I need to wait for this because if I keep going with my momentum, I'm gonna fuck up.
That's true.
And
it feels good. Sending 12 lines, dude.
KO. Yeah. And that happened on my win was like I was on top 12. I have this the video, and like it was just like KO, and it was KO, and like it went from 6 to 2, and then I was just like, I can do it. I just gotta last and drop a few at a time, and all of a sudden it ended. I'm like, what happened? I didn't fuck up. Oh, I won! No one else is in the show. I'm like. It was the best feeling.
It's hard, man.
It's
fucking hard.
Is that your only win, or is that the win only during your first win, only during cardio?
It's my first
Ever.
of many wins.
I've only won
Ever.
I've only won once. It's fucking hard.
It is hard.
There's killers, dude.
I saw the guy I was up against, Japanese name.
Ooh.
And I know what that means.
Yeah.
Everyone should know what that means.
You know what's funny? I almost got my second win. I noticed it was just me and this one guy, and I'm just trying to survive. And I noticed that he's not sending me anything. I was like, and I looked real quick, like, oh, he's just trying to survive. And I fucked up.
Oh.
And I was like, dude, I was better than this guy, and I fucking could have won.
That's the worst feeling.
Because I was like, why isn't he sending? Because usually people,
Yeah.
boom,
boom, boom. You're like,
people are
fuck.
good. Like, they'll just send stuff like in the very
That started
when it's
happening to me.
fast. And I was like, oh,
I
my
think
God.
because I got those KOs that kept me in it because I would drop way more with the little I got. I was like, yes. Is the best feeling. So now my goal, I learned that leveling in that game goes to 99, and then it resets and it goes 1 star all the way to 99 star.
Wow.
And so I'm like, I'm only playing this while I'm on the cardio, and I want to get to 99 stars. So that's my new goal.
They need to bring in duos, dude. Or triples because it's 99.
They said, so there was a tournament weekend once and recently, and they said that they're going to do more fun special content. So with this recent thing where Twitch did the whole free 1 year of online, I feel like that's going to garner potential more people to play Tetris 99.
Because it's free and I can pick it up right now.
Exactly. So there's that. Been watching Star Trek. Very fun. We watched the first episode where you meet the Borg.
Ooh.
And it was a good one. It was really good. Like you see the crew face something that they're not ready to fight. And they're like, we can't win. And this character Q, who's like he's like Mr. Mplixel. He's like devious and like, I'll be around and help you, and snaps himself out, makes impossible things possible. He's sort of like sped up the process. He's like, you guys are going to meet these guys eventually. I'm just going to make you meet them now. And they're like, well, now because of that, they met them, but now the Borg also know of them, and maybe they'll be on the hunt for them now. So maybe it's like, would they have ever met them? Or I don't know. It's cool. I know there's more to come, but I got like a big staple of like Trek lore.
Yeah.
And it was cool seeing that. And I think we got business cards.
Yeah.
WonderCon ready?
WonderCon ready.
Meet us.
Just press start and you can get in touch with us.
Press that.
We're gonna have a meet and greet
Yeah, if you can
on
find
Saturday.
us.
Where's Waldo?
Jang will let you touch his nipples. Kitty titty. By the way, that reminded me. You have another personality?
Oh, so remember that the $100? That's I haven't made that post yet.
Okay.
I just like this douchebag, like like hype beast. It's like over the top. It's just Instagram only. I think I don't want to do anything else.
Okay, but people can look out for that soon.
Yeah, it's just like
I wonder if he'll make an appearance at WonderCon.
Hey, it's a serious black wig.
Hey, there is a Harry Potter meetup, like photo shoot.
I'm not. No. Fuck, I'm not gonna say it.
You should do
Some fans are just a little too weird. Like when they start doing duels in WonderCon, I'm like, nah, yeah, I'm good. I mean, I have a wand. I'm not down to do duels. Like,
yeah. There, you should do the what's the poppin' guy.
oh Jesus Christ!
Oh yeah.
Red. Jesus Christ!
Cosplay is that.
That'd be cool, actually. You get a lot of props if I did do that.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Anyway, that's I think all I have. Yeah, a little bit of Sekiro, and yeah, let's get into the topics.
Let's do it.
Start with you, Vargas.
So mine was, do you guys feel like indie games are becoming so popular that the demand for longevity, not longevity, but like an extended amount of game is required under these guys? Like, you know, just having a longer game and not a shorter game like most indie games are. Always having DLC on a game you've picked up, because a lot of these games that we've picked up are getting DLC. Or just having like patches and stuff like required, like you guys need to keep up with your game and stuff like that. Do you think this is something that's kind of being demanded of indie games? And I bring that up because like we have the Ninja Gaiden game, the
Cyber Shadow.
No, the one that we picked
Messenger.
up. Yeah, the Messenger. Like they're having like the DLC that they're adding
Oh,
on there
yeah,
for that. There's another one that I picked up that I saw that they were going to do DLC as well. I don't think that one's going to be free though. But yeah, it just got me thinking, like, is this something that's required now for indie games?
Do you want to go first, Jay?
I feel like there's not enough indie games. Like if I asked the average gamer if they've played an indie game, they're probably going to say no. And so I feel like the market, I don't know, people are just not, they want to play their Call of Duties and Maddens and Fortnites. I feel like there could be more indie games, and there should be more indie games because there's such a breath of fresh air. But I feel like the average gamer does not play indie games. Like I didn't start playing indie games until like recently. So,
but do you feel like do you think it would entice more people if Hyper Light Drifter had additional content to it? Like, would that be the thing that pushes?
So.
That wouldn't
think
do
so.
it.
No. You would have to like, I don't know, bring in like a skin, like we're gonna have like, I don't know, an Apex skin or something. I don't know.
Tie it into something big.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what would entice them to, because I feel like they don't want to play indie games.
Well, I feel like to answer, I'm thinking in the vein that I just asked, is that I feel like they don't need it. I think when they see that they have any success, for the ones that do get success, a cool response to that success is like, hey, for the fans that supported us, we're going to create extra content because we know you like this and you've allowed us to play more with it. Or before we continue into something new, like for instance, you guys showed me Shovel Knight's Yacht Club. They just made a new game. But before that, they've done several add-ons or additional contents to Shovel Knight. And they just kept adding to that world because so many people had supported it and they've been able to be such a success that they were. I don't think they originally saw the resources were available for them to do that. Sort of like, I would say in some way, like how George Lucas was like, I just want to make A New Hope. But like then it became a success. He's like, well, actually, I have ideas for a continuation of this world. Now that I have the resources and now that I have the support, I want to make those happen. Yeah. And he did. I don't think he went out and was like, I can make 3 movies. I think it was a matter of like the resources allow what you can do.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an expectation now of that. I think it's just like, do we support them, and does that support then get reciprocated?
Yeah.
And it's like this feedback loop. And I think it's cool because it makes like an interesting relationship with the indie developers that I feel like you, from time to time, you see with bigger developers, but more often than not, the bigger developers tend to stick to something that is successful. Like, I don't see, because Pokemon fucking sold amazing numbers on Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, they're going to do something to add on to it for fans. They're just going to make the next Pokemon. Like, just next project. They got projects. They're like, we know we can anticipate what our general returns are going to be. We can do this. And it's just like, just keep that wheel going. Unless there's a spike down or a spike up, keep the course. Yeah. And they have like a long-term course. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I agree with you. I think that I don't think it's demanded of them, and I think it's their popularity. Like, you know, when they grow in popularity for a game, like Dead Cells, we have Hollow Knight. You know, we have the Messenger. Well, the Messenger. Like, I believe Dead Cells getting DLC. I think that's the one I saw.
Yeah, it is. My brother was saying like there's like a new game plus or something that is fuck hard.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the
that got out of it.
So that I feel like, you know, they not that they're obligated to, but they feel like, you know, we've done so well thanks to these guys. We want to give them more content, you know, and we're gonna add on to this stuff that they've bought from us already. So I think that's always a cool thing. But yeah, I don't think it's something that's necessary, and I think it's only done when they feel like those resources are available to them to continue that for those specific games. So yeah, I mean, they do. I gotta sneeze. I just I love that this is an option for them. Like, something like if they make a game and it's successful, that these guys, you know, they decide to add more to these games and give more to the people that are enjoying it. So that's always good.
Yeah, I think it's also a quick way to like give fans more without having to go back to the drawing board and start from scratch. They can just like, okay, to keep this going a little bit more. We can give them something that they'll enjoy and that they want and that we want to do to continue in whatever world. Like Hollow Knight, they've had stretch goals and they've been doing DLC, and then they got to the point where they had gone so far beyond their stretch goals that they were like, we had this DLC, but now we are making it a full game, which is now about Hornet, or I think is her name, the Wasp girl, the Needle, and several other similar success stories with some of these games. It's just a shame that not enough, like I agree, like not enough people, I think, like play enough of these to make them a success. I think a way that they've combated against that is try to make them go to places where people would be playing indie games. Like if a game releases on the Switch,
they combine with Nintendo and do a Link
or a collab.
Necro Dancer.
Yeah. But I think that came after the success of their first one. Like if it wasn't for the original Crypto Dancer being a success. The other thing is making it available as many places as possible. So like you have it on iPads, you have it on phones, you have it on Steam, you have it wherever.
I think it has to be exclusive to Epic Games. I'm just saying.
Well, Epic Games doesn't take shit, as they said. That was a weird statement that they had. I thought. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, that's my thought.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good one. You want to move on?
Sure. Next topic. Guys, I've been clamoring for this moment for a while. It finally came.
Yeah, our business cards.
Got him. Borderlands 3 got a trailer. And it was at PAX East. It was today.
Well, they're going to listen to this on Monday, but the day that we're recording.
Thursday, March 28th, 2019.
We would have been at PAX East, but we knew we had to record this episode, so... work first, you know.
To our fans of PAX East, thanks for continuing the support. Go play Borderlands for us, please, if they allow a demo or something. But yeah, so Borderlands 3 had a demo, or not a demo, they had a trailer.
Yeah.
And then they had a bunch of other announcements in the Borderlands world and the Gearbox world. But I wanted to talk about thoughts on the trailer.
So they made an announcement that they're going to announce something. Did you think they were going to announce it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be a battle royale for some reason.
I thought it was going to be
there was a little bit of
remastered or remake.
Well, I thought they would do a pairing. They're like, the game's out at this state, but right now, this. And it's on the Switch or something like that.
Yeah.
But a little bit of me of like, what if they fucking fake us out and it's not Borderlands 3 and it's a battle royale, which could have been cool. I'm not discrediting the merit of like that being successful or an interesting implementation with their style. But I think they knew what fans have been waiting for. I forgot how long it's been since Borderlands 2. It was 2012 when that one came out. I know pre-sequel came out in 2014, but we haven't had like a proper next Borderlands for a while now.
Yeah.
Like 7 years?
I just think it's funny. Like I've recently played, like in the last few months, last 2 or 3 months, I played Borderlands 2, and
Why don't you talk about it on the show?
it I just dabbed into it. Dabbled
Yeah,
in
you
it.
dab and you do. So yeah, you played it?
Yeah, I played it recently, and I don't feel like the graphics are bad. Like they're not old.
No, I think the cell shading keeps it from being
keeps it
feel
fresh. And what's funny is like they've done like a remastered, and I'm like, I don't think it's gonna look any different. I just thought it was really funny.
Maybe it's all the colors. Like
Yeah.
they'll have more fill up the screen.
It looked more vibrant, but again, they might have just like upped like the screen contrast. or
sure.
whatever.
But yeah, so where do you guys stand? What do you guys think of what you saw?
So I'm not very excited for the game. I've always played. I own Borderlands, Borderlands 2, Borderlands is a prequel, and I've only ever played like 10 to 15 hours at the beginning of the game. Because
Of each one?
Of each one, pretty much. And I played the first one and the second one probably. I don't know which one the most.
Okay.
The prequel I played the least, probably just like the 10 hours. But I've always liked those very beginning, so I tend to start new characters, just play the very beginning, because there's a point where you get like really strong and you're able to take out enemies pretty quickly. And for me, it's not enjoyable at that point. I want each enemy to be difficult for me. And the way they get around it is to just throw kind of a lot of enemies at you at the same time who you're able to take out quickly, but there's just so much coming at you. And I don't know, I just don't find that very enjoyable. Like I want to have like difficulty with individual enemies.
What has kept you going with Destiny then? Because I felt like that had shared a lot of similar characteristics in that you have different classes with different ultimate abilities once you've leveled them up, and then where it comes in the challenge in terms of challenge is circumstances or hordes of things or whatever. Like, is there a similarity there for you, or
I can't compare them and say like they're similar, because I think with Borderlands I feel like there's too many enemies, and with Destiny it wasn't. I didn't feel like there were that many enemies, and obviously there were very easy ones. You could almost like one headshot these enemies, but then there would be like these elites, and they take quite a bit to be able to take them out. And that those added, and Borderlands has that, but I feel like it's a very less compared to like the amount of enemies they throw at you.
Okay.
That you go to like a place where like the psychos are at or whatever, and there's just a ton of them. Yeah, and there's just a ton of those guys, and there'll be one harder guy there, but it doesn't feel like he's that difficult compared to the rest of them, anyways. To me. Yeah. I'm still gonna pick it up. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna pick it up, and I'm probably gonna do the same thing. As I'll probably just play like 10 to 15 hours.
He'll
that
be
beginning
back.
part. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's probably what I'll play.
do you like the world that they have?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed the world. I love like the creatures they've created, and the cell shading lends to like just having really cool designs.
Yeah.
And it looks like at least on this one they've revamped a few. Like there's the bug ones. I don't remember what their names are, but there's a picture.
Lot of them. And there's more worlds in this one, so
There's a million, million
that's
guns.
that's one thing that showed is like it shows massive worlds. Like you go to like
not just one world
like a
too, because
city.
all the other ones were like you're in different regions on
Yeah.
one world. Now you're on different worlds too.
There's one that like it showed like he was in front of a city and like it had tower like buildings. Like it looked really nice. And then right after that went to like a jungle area that looked really nice. I was like, dude, these are like aesthetically pleasing worlds. Like yeah.
Jang.
I've only played Borderlands 2, and I thought it was okay. No, it wasn't my cup of tea. But I even played with friends too, and just
Oh, you
like,
did?
it was like, which is weird. I remember the very first time I played, I somehow got into some other guy's game. He was really high level, and I jumped from level 1 to 19, like that. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, I'm level 19 now. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the trailer might have been good if I understood like the characters. I don't know any of the characters. I know Claptrap.
There's
but
some hints at characters from the Telltale game too, like one that Troy Baker voiced. Was they show him in a cutscene? You're like, what? They're gonna. That's what?
Yeah. So none of the things hit me. So I was just like, oh, I know Claptrap.
Yeah.
And that's about it. And yeah, I don't know. Those kind of games, I just feel like these like dungeon loot games where it requires just like repetitive like shooting, or like it's like Diablo but with guns. Like it's just not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea.
Okay. I mean, I was stoked. I am a type of person who enjoy, like, before Destiny came around and was the looter shooter for me. Borderlands was that. I started playing. I remember PS3. My friends that we would go over and we would like everyone would have their PlayStations and we would just set up like screens or monitors and we'd be like, let's play local split screen or cooperative or whatever. And what happened later was, and this is part of the sad part of like doing things co-op, and it's happened many times before. It happened with Division. It's happened with Destiny. It happens with all these games. Whenever there's leveling, everyone goes at a different pace. And so after that, if you're not playing at launch and you don't keep up, as soon as you go to bed, this other person's like, bro, I'm max level. And it's like, fuck, man. Now I got to play this solo. And that's part of the reason I would say I don't enjoy that beginning part is that everyone's at a different point. Like that, and it's like, okay, you're 4 levels higher. So like, you're like, I've already done this. I'll help you get through it. And I'm lower and I'm like, I'm useless. So can you just like get me through and power me up? I like when everyone's at the end and we can all focus on whatever the end game gear or challenge or whatever that may be. Gotcha. It's like the second game starts. I feel like the first part for me is a solo experience or matchmaking. I enjoy like just randos and like people. I'm wondering if they'll do that because it showed people are doing 4 players, and just doing co-op and you could jump in. I remember Borderlands 2, you could do that, and I might boot it up again. I haven't played it in a while. It's been a long time, but I love the worlds and the guns, like the variety of guns. While there are many throwaways, there were some weird combinations. Like there was one where it's like these bullets are birds. Like you just shoot them and or like these bullets like twirl and they do like some weird like an ability that a grenade would have. And like it was that extra. Like I know procedurally generated or randomized things tend to throw out a lot of like, this is trash or this is just like this. But they tended to do a lot of like quirky combinations that I wouldn't anticipate. And so it wouldn't be a clear cut, like this is better than this. It's like, well, I'll use this when I'm facing things that burn. And I'll use this when I want to like make someone fly in the air, or like this one throws grenades while it shoots, or like it's some bonkers shit stuff. And I was like, that's fun. It's cool. And they have the class abilities. Again, familiar with that with Destiny.
Introducing 4 new Vault Hunters.
Yeah, while keeping the continuity, they showed older hunters, but it looks like they're characters that you're in there.
Yeah.
So I think that could be fun. I don't know. It had a humor to it that I think hits a note with me. It's just a world that looks like fun. Like Mad Max meets like goofy, zany, like
Naked Gun.
Yeah, Naked Gun. I don't know, Looney Tunes in a lot of ways, like Acme. Those crazy people and
Borderlands 3. I don't know what.
Yeah,
the cover's gonna be
just like John Wick style, just like 800 guns faded. I'm curious what they'll do with like the different like characters. And well, one of them looked like they would have like it's a super buff chick with like Shiva ability.
Oh yeah.
Like melee. They tends to be like some sort of melee.
Asura's Wrath.
Beastmaster.
Wow. There's like a robot with like just like a bunch of jackets on.
Which I think the girl.
Those.
It looked like it was a girl character that was able to control that. Like not control it, but like it seemed like it was always behind one of the female characters.
I thought that was its own character.
I don't think so, actually.
I'm pretty sure it is because it was like giving us. There was a screenshot of like it was by itself.
Gotcha.
I don't know. We'll see. There was a ton of like random new people that I was like,
so those
of one of these could be.
Those 2 villains are new, brand spanking new.
Yeah, okay. I've never seen them before, and
they look related.
There was a vibe to them. I'm like, okay, I get a personality here, and a lot of the characters from DLCs were there. Like Tiny Tina was in there. There was I forget her name, but she did like one of the expansions was so fun because it was a little girl, and she was guiding you and the other Vault Hunters through a D&D campaign.
Oh.
And it was just like random NPCs would drop, and you'd have to shoot them all. And then she'd be like, "Oh yeah, this boss is here." And it's like, "What?" And you take out the boss, and then all of a sudden 4 bosses show up, and then she's like, "Nah, I took care of that." And you're losing. All of a sudden, a dragon shows up and takes them out. And like, it had a cool, like, you don't see that.
Yeah.
So I am curious what like modern things you'll see out of it, like besides what they've been known for doing. Like they've been known for doing co-op. They've got loads of DLC and humor, loads of guns and abilities. Like
1 billion guns.
1 billion. Yeah.
I think the most exciting thing for me is obviously that's a shit ton of guns, and I'm sure a majority of them are going to be like procedurally created.
Well, it's also like as you're leveling up too. So like guns at the beginning won't be
Yeah.
the same as guns at the end. So I feel like that.
I still think like 100,000 guns while you're leveling is still more than enough. So there's still like, obviously there's more than that, but I feel like there are going to be those. They always have like those special guns that like are able to drop all the time. Like if you do certain content, certain bosses drop specific guns.
Did Borderlands have that?
Yeah, the current Borderlands has that. There is like there's a special run that I don't know if it's just streamers. Where they have like a checklist, and they literally have to start from the beginning, go through this run, and collect all these weapons. And some of the weapons are like have a 1% drop rate. Like you have to kill these guys a few hundred times to find this weapon. So yeah, like I'm excited for those things. I'm sure they'll have brand new guns, with really cool techniques or abilities.
Since you both fall in the camp of like not as interested or not too like excited, what would be something that they didn't showcase here that would have been a cool, like, exciting thing that would have enticed you?
The thing for me is it's too hectic. Like I like to go from point A to point Z, and for me to go through all the points through that. But I feel like if you accidentally go on a game online with a higher character, you will jump and go from A to W, and I'll be like, fuck, I missed all those levels, and I don't want to like go back max level and do this whole entire campaign.
Wait, levels as in like missions, or levels as in like your level?
My level. I like to go through the game on my own, essentially.
Well, then how would you accidentally go into that?
Well, I don't remember how I did it last time, but like I remember I accidentally went online and immediately was just like a higher level. I was like, "Fuck, dude, I can't revert back."
I have faith in you this time. You're not gonna make that mistake.
So
we're losing out.
And it
Okay,
almost
then
happened
like
every
I said,
time.
what would then? Like you're talking about what bothers you. I'm talking about like if the guys in charge of this were like, we're gonna add something. We want you to get it.
Technically, they don't have to add anything for me to enjoy it. I just have to play the right way.
Okay.
The way
what would get you excited? I'm trying to get like an answer.
Well, the thing is, like,
You sounded excited about Battle Royale. With that, if they added that, would you be excited?
No. What I was excited for was seeing people's disappointment and hearing it's going to be a Battle Royale. That's what I was excited for. I didn't care.
So the suffering of others would get you excited.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool.
So if they made it so difficult that casual players,
we're gonna play a clip of your reaction of saying it wasn't that exciting to the developers, and then once we show them that, they'll be disappointed, and then we're gonna see how excited you get, and then send that to them, and be like, got him.
Oh my gosh! There you go. You nailed it.
It's the loop. I mean, I'm working with what I got. Jang, what would it take?
I would have to hit Endgame. I feel like I didn't give it a fair shake. I didn't play too much. Hit Endgame because I feel like that's where the real game is.
So microtransactions, max level,
Negative.
$10.
Well, like I understand you like.
There has to be a class that I don't even remember the classes.
Yeah,
there has to be a class that like I really like a rogue type.
Well, they always have the assassin.
Yeah.
So
like that.
I think in this one, there's a shot like right in the beginning that shows the 4 Vault Hunters.
Yeah.
There's the operative who looks like a mature dude, a regular mature dude. There's a person next to him, which I think is kind of like an engineer / like all around character. There's the Beastmaster, which seems like it's going to revolve around controlling different monsters and stuff like that. And then there's the chick who it seems like she's like what's called the psych, I think is what it's called, where they have abilities and stuff like that.
Right.
Outside of that. So yeah, the guy next to the operative. So there's the operative who's kind of like the stealth / assassin dude.
Yeah, I'm looking for.
Then there's the soldier, and then there's the beastmaster, and then there's the chick who's the psych.
I think they're going to
Assassin.
cross some of them. So okay, so an interesting, compelling class, proper end game of some kind. What would is it different from what you've heard?
There's no
or something
to my
challenging.
knowledge, it's not. There's no PvP, right? Like
No.
that would kind of entice me. Like
That was something I thought they could add to this that we haven't seen before. What kind of PvP? Like a traditional PvP?
no,
or-
like PvE and PvP, so you can get killed by the environment, and
Oh, okay.
so you're competing for stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
So
it works.
they to share one thing. They've had in the past Mad Moxie. She's a character. She's like a game host circus sort of battle arena runner, and she would have this horde mode. And I'm wondering if maybe they make a variation of that where it's like you and other gladiators, other Vault Hunters,
Yes.
could be in the same arena while trying to fight off hordes of random shit. You could also get at each other.
Oh, the siren. That's what I was
Right,
thinking.
right. So
Yeah,
okay, so
that would-
PvP.
Yes.
Okay.
End game. If it gets good reviews, I might pick it up for sure and not play because that's what I've been doing. Buy games and not play them.
That's the ultimate game.
Wargroove.
Oh yeah, Workers. Yeah, I gotta play that. Okay, I was just curious. They didn't say a date
No.
for release.
No, it's
What-
not 2019.
No.
I think it is 2019.
Oh.
I think it's going to be 2019, but they don't want to be like,
You know what? The
spring
trailer
2022.
did look kind of finished.
So I'm looking at the calendar here. It was something I learned today in news articles later was that they have more information to share on April 3rd. I don't know what that information could be. Maybe it's just more details, like these are classes, these are like gameplay modes and whatever. But I'm wondering, with these, I think they also said certain like the remakes and the collections are coming out sometime in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are going to come out spring to summer, and then at E3, we'll see them on stage with either Microsoft or someone, and be like, "We're coming out in the fall." I was hoping they were going to come out in the summer, but at this point, I feel like there's little chance of them coming out on April 3rd, being like, "This is our announcement date." What do you guys think? Fall? I'm saying fall 2019.
So usually games like they come out in anniversaries of the previous one.
Okay.
So Borderlands 2 came out September 18, 2012. So
So September.
September.
19,
Okay,
Or September
that's
20.
a smart.
September.
2020.
2020, fuck off. It's like if they came out and said that, I'd be like, bro, what?
I do think it's this year, and I think that's a good date. Like
September?
September. Yeah.
That's it.
If it coincides with any other game release, then I'm gonna say sooner than that.
I think they're big enough that the other games would be like,
Oh fuck.
I'm gonna move.
Ooh.
But what I like, and it's also like, okay, if let's say Pokemon came out that same day, they're such a different audience. I don't think they'd care.
Yeah.
They'd be like, guys, you got a busy weekend. Like,
I feel like PC sales would be the strongest, right? For
maybe
them.
I think it's a big console gamer. Like, especially that co-op thing. I think it could be both. Maybe a cool feature, something that would entice me. I'm gonna say I don't think I went around, but I'm already kind of excited. But I would love cross progression because a lot of times the friends that I have will play at different paces, and they're usually on PS4. But then I'm like, I want to play on PC if I'm by myself. So like not losing progress of characters and
I feel for that to happen, it has to have crossplay in general.
But then you're mixing mouse keyboard with
I know, but for there to be cross progression, I feel like there has to be crossplay.
why?
I think it's just weird to load a character from PC into your PS4 and then back again while keeping it separate. Like people can't play together on each one. Like a PC player should be able to play with a PS4 player. Is what I'm saying. As well.
But I don't
as
think
there
that,
being a
that it's, in my opinion, I don't think that they're required to for both to work. Like if I'm making progress on PC, but I want to play with a PS4 player, maybe they're doing it so that the player engage. Like they wouldn't. I know there's cross-play in like Fortnite,
Yeah.
but they tend to try to keep it to phone players if they're all phone players.
Right.
So they don't go out of their way to
No,
try to
I
pair
know
you
what
with
you're
a PC
saying.
player.
That,
then the
but I
experience
feel
isn't-
like the biggest thing is I feel like they go hand in hand. Is cross-play and cross
Maybe
transfer or whatever.
Are there any games that
Essentially.
have that? Just
progression. No.
no.
I don't think so because like even I don't know if I could do that on like Final Fantasy 15 was it?
I know Fortnite. I guess that's the only
Or
one.
14?
Everything's just everywhere. But again, the way you pair a phone player versus a Switch player versus a PC player, I don't think it just automatically does it.
Yeah.
From what I understand, unless your friend is there and you're like, let's play together, that's when it'll do it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we'll see. But that would entice me. I like.
Paladins has it. Cross progression.
Okay. I think that like whether or not it's together or not, my emphasis is on the progression because I just want to be able to like not have to start another 15 characters or whatever. So that'd be cool.
Well, I wish you luck with that.
Fingers crossed.
Do you
And
have
that's all I had. I'm waiting for a date. I'm frothing at the mouth. I thought.
one? Well, if it comes out, I'll pick it up on PC. So
Okay, I'm picking on the Switch, and I'll come over while you play on PC. I'll be like, hey, let's play.
you just cross.
Yeah, I want to. I mean, I'm getting more. Like, I got a Xbox Elite controller, and I was like, in order for me to play, I have to wire connect it. I was like, there's got to be a way. And I looked. My PC doesn't have a Bluetooth connector, and I looked up the Elite controller. I got a Bluetooth adapter, just like a universal $10 one, and I thought people had said like it works, but it doesn't work with the Elite for some reason. You need a specific Microsoft dongle. So I'm returning the universal one, and I got the
Have you
Xbox,
received
the
it already?
Microsoft. No, it hasn't come in yet. So I'm waiting on a few. Like I was playing Sekiro with it, and I preferred the controller, and I want to play like if I played something else third person or just whatever. The controller, it feels good, and like it's usually when Katie's on the TV, she's been like watching movies after movies, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna be over here on my computer playing Destiny and stuff.
Here's a quick one on PS4 Destiny. I was able to like when you're using the Sparrow.
Yeah.
If you jump and like if you land like really far somewhere and you hit with your Sparrow will hit the ground and like kind of blow up. There's a trick where if you strafe to the side, either side, right before you hit the ground, it doesn't count as the giant fall, so you don't even blow up.
Okay.
On PS4, there was a button for me to strafe on a vehicle. That button doesn't exist on PC.
I think you have to just look at the mapping.
I've looked at the mapping and
There's
I
nothing?
can't find. Yeah, I look at where the Sparrow is, and there is no like.
I've strafed with the enemy Sparrow. I've done it with that. I don't know what I pressed. Maybe it's a different button, but I know I've done it with that one.
I guess the vehicles, because obviously like when I picked up the PC, it had to start fresh. So maybe the same vehicle.
I changed some of the key mappings because class abilities are not in positions I like. And like C is not crouch. C is class ability. I'm like, nope, I need C to be crouch. I changed it to like control.
I'm wondering if maybe I guess I don't have a Sparrow that has the ability to strafe because it was like I remember the original. It was like a thing where you had to have like an elite one that had it. Yeah, so maybe I just don't have one that has it. Possible.
I think Jang has one that has it. Sometimes we talk about Destiny at a coworker's bay. Me and a coworker talk about it at a third coworker's bay. He doesn't play Destiny at all. And this guy, like my friend, who's talking to me, he talks very passionately and he gets very into his stories and just goes. And like I look at my friend, I'm like, he has no idea what he's talking about. He's like, why are you guys talking about this at my desk? And like yesterday, he's like, yeah, so I was using one-eyed mask. And I was like, bro, his one-eyed mask, huh? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Anyway, that's my topic.
All right. So my topic: the shadows die twice. Secure. Just kidding. So, my most anticipated movie, it came out last week, and I want you guys to share your thoughts on us. It was the joke, the long-running joke of season 1 of the weekly DLC. Will it be the long-running joke for the weekly
Go to the
DLC?
sunken place. Let's talk about it. All right, so are we going spoilers? Should we warn people?
Spoilers.
All right, this is going to be a spoiler conversation about the movie Us.
I mean, you went to see it, so that's telling because it's a scary.
Overcame challenges and tribulations to see this movie. I had been struggling internally with this, just like, am I scared? Why am I scared? Should I be scared?
Had a good amount
Should
of
I
comedy.
face my fears? And I was like, I'm the man without fear. Matt Murdock, bro. No, I bought the ticket. I was like, you know what? Even though I could refund this and it doesn't mean anything, this is my commitment to go. Because I was like, the curiosity of me was like, I want to know what it's about. I want to know what happened. But I know if I go.
Twitter help in making that decision?
Oh, I looked up spoilers before I went. So I was like, you know what? If it gets me to go, and I knew, I mean, our conversation about Get Out, you guys told me everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I will see it. You've interested me and piqued my curiosity. So I did see it and I did enjoy it. So it didn't, to me, when you take away that veil of like the horror of like what it is and everything, it makes it more palpable for me to like, I don't know if I said that right, but palpable for me to be able to like view it and judge it by its merits and like really think about it critically. And I felt like that helped me view this and get past the jumps, because it really was just a few jumps. And I just didn't look at those jumps. Like the freakiest part for me was the whole she's looking at a mirror, or what she thought was a mirror. I was just like, I don't need to see this. This popcorn looks good. I'm just gonna sit here eating this popcorn. And
you ever seen the skit Mr. Bean goes to a horror movie?
No.
Oh, okay, you gotta watch.
Oh man. So yeah, with that, I knew just a few vague things about what the plot would involve. I didn't know to what extent and where those things would be revealed. So it still did surprise me, finding out the twists at the end. But like, I knew that there was like, who are these people? And it was like, oh, they're clones. It's like, oh, okay. I wonder how. And I started thinking in the technical side. So, but overall, I had a fun time. I was watching it as if sort of a mix of like I've watched it already because of reading some of those spoilers, but it made me view it in like a fun way. I was like, oh, that's kind of telling. I guess that's kind of telling. And like how you were saying earlier, you want to see it a second time. Like I kind of got a little bit of that vibe. And I told Katie about the movie, and I kind of want to be like, hey, if you watch it, I'll watch it with you, because there were things I want to now go back again after seeing other people's reactions, talking to people and stuff. I had a fun time. It was interesting.
I feel like horror movies, it's good to have like that audience first, second week reaction. It's
There
just
were
like
people,
that energy.
Vargas and I went to see it, and there was like a couple behind us. They're like, oh, he's gonna show up behind her. Oh my god.
The girl.
They're gonna die. This is it. Oh. And I'm like, one of the scenes was done in kind of a funny way, and I'm sitting there laughing my ass off. Like it was some random death or like a that dad, and I was laughing so hard. And when the scare came, I'm like, fuck it. Like I'm still laughing. Probably ruined it for them. But there is, I could see that.
What did you think, Jay?
Brilliant.
Fuck.
Brilliant. So going into it, I thought it was like Get Out. The white family takes over the black family's body. That's what I thought. But then like when the first like
this movie?
Yeah.
What?
From the trailer. Like, so I thought like, especially the scene was like, keep the rhythm. And kid's like.
So you thought that their friend, the neighbors?
Yeah, I thought they were going to take over their body. So I thought it was like a Get Out like sequel. And boy, was I
So you
wrong.
thought like the scene that we saw in the trailer
Was at the
was
end.
an end scene?
Yeah.
In the car?
Yeah, in the car where the mom's like, keep the rhythm. She's trying to train the kid who's been absorbed into that body to act to like
Funky.
music, to like funk music or whatever. Yes.
So like Twitter was like kind of spoiling things for me, like tethering and like
Throwing out keywords.
what should I pair with my viewing of this movie? And Jordan Peele would retweet things, and I'm just like, my eyes, like fuck, man. So I was like, dude, I need Sunday to happen real quick, dude. But I mean, I was still reading reviews, and it's funny. Like usually, I was like thinking, damn, dude, it's gonna hype it up so much.
I was worried.
I wasn't gonna like it, and I was like, you know what?
Stranger Things season 2.
It was good, dude. It was good.
Okay.
I really like the metaphors and explanations where, like, especially the one where it's a metaphor for the U.S., how we're divided, but we're the same, but our ideas are different. But we would rather kill for our ideas, and just it's a metaphor for Native Americans. So them killing like the like us.
Well, I thought in maybe aside from just Native Americans, just like our livelihood was at the cost of someone else. It was at the detriment of someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So people do that all the time, whether it be like on a grand scale, like coming into another country, or just coming up the classes of like where you're coming from, where you're buying things from, and who's making them, and like what conditions they live in, and
yeah, especially that like the one where there was a metaphor where the people in the underground are marginalized, but the twist is Lupita Nyong'o is actually the clone, or she's part of the underground people, but she actually grew up with
humans.
Yeah,
or
with
regular.
with privilege, and she turned out because remember there was a quote saying like, "Oh, we're just a shadow. There's no soul within us," but that's not true because she grew up to be successful just because of her being privileged. Yeah, so I was just like, "Fuck, that's crazy."
Oh.
But there's a crazy theory that I read where they're saying that Jason, the boy, is actually an underground kid, and this guy breaks it down by like because so it's crazy. So
it's like Littlefinger.
No. It's actually really cool. Like so like they're in the car and the kid's using like words, and the dad's like, "Wow, when did you learn how to use these words? Like
Anus.
big words." Yeah,
Kiss
like
my anus.
But I mean, like he was using crazy words. He didn't know how to keep a beat, and that scene that he brings that up when he's in the beach. The twins, those girls, she's like, "What are you building?" "Oh, I'm digging a tunnel." And so like they're saying like the switch happened before, like around the time that grandma died. So that's, I don't know. There's way more theories, but it's like crazy. And they named him Pluto because he's not tethered. He's not a planet. Like it's just, there's a lot of like,
maybe
you have to watch the video. There's just so much more evidence. Like, I don't know.
But he was tethered.
But I feel like...
Yeah. They did cool in the trailer because they have it in the trailer playing forward. Like he's coming out of the film. I was like, oh, fuck. This kid's like... He's a Targaryen.
And the whole time the like, movie was like, yeah, he loves fire. You're like, fuck, no wonder.
He is fire.
And then you realize like, no, he can't.
Nah, bro. He died in fire.
He can't withstand fire.
I realized a twist while watching it. I didn't realize the Hands of America twist. That was flew by me. But the Lupita twist, I like. Oh yeah,
which I think it's funny. I think the Hands of America, like when I saw it, like right off the bat, I was like, this is a long ass like Hands of America shit. I'm like, they has to do something with this.
Yeah, the two things that I was like, it's gonna like, I don't know how, but it's gonna involve was the beginning text where it's like, there's a lot of empty tunnels.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Hands of America, I'm like, all right, I got 2 clues. It's an escape room. I don't know what the fuck they mean. We'll find out.
The twist I found out like while they were fighting each other. Like there was just a moment I was like, wait a minute. Holy shit. Yeah.
Part of me was like, earlier when she takes out the twin sister.
Oh yeah.
And you hear her sounds and the sun kind of picks up. I was like, no, something's off.
And why is it he's the only one that ever notices it?
Or he's the only one that ever
watches it?
I think he's the only one that just...
But why is it a coincidence? He sees it twice. He sees it there and the second time underground.
Because they took the daughter.
Because he's the copy.
What?
I mean,
well, the second time, my thought was... I don't know how, but I thought that was when, like, whatever was coming out of her was like an infection. Like she was becoming the clone.
Yeah.
Not realizing that she was the clone this whole time. But I thought what they were gonna do was have the clone take her place at the end. And like then she's stuck in the underground, and somehow people believe it. Like maybe she damages the real one, and like people are like, I can't tell the difference, and like she comes up. But then the fact that she was it the whole time, I was like, oh, okay.
I have to say they did a really good job with the trailer, because I thought the others, or whatever they're called, the tethered, I thought the family was the only one. I didn't know everything else. So they didn't put that in the trailer. So I was like, holy
There was a lot they didn't put. I didn't think anyone else was in the movie, because they kept showing after that initial reaction, I was like, the rest of the family's probably dead.
In the trailer, they show one of the friends die. And
the one crawler.
Yeah. So I was like, oh shit, like their clones kill her. I'm like, dude, and she probably the whole time she's like, why are you doing it? And all of a sudden just stabs the shit out of her. I'm like, dude, this is gonna be so good. And it turns out it was fucking her own fucking
Tim and Eric.
fucking
Or Tim.
Tim fucking kills it, dude. He stole the fucking movie, dude.
I didn't even recognize it until you pointed it out after. I was like, oh shit.
When he like goes in his yacht looking for the guy, he's like, huh?
Puts on the robe.
Yes. Oh my God,
stupid.
dude, it's so good, dude. So my opinion is I didn't care. Like, it wasn't amazing to me, and I think the issue is
it's okay.
I think the issue is I compared it like crazy to his first film.
You didn't like Shazam, so I mean,
I also
something's
didn't like
off,
Shazam.
dude.
Oh fuck! Spoiler.
Dude, where's others, dude? This is the other Daniel, dude. Where's the other Daniel, dude?
Those are guys like get the other dude.
We got him.
That explains it when he doesn't and when he is interested in WoW.
We take turns.
Tag team.
Your turn.
So you compared.
Yeah, I just kept comparing it. I was like, this scene isn't as good as like the scenes I've seen in this one. This scene isn't as good. And I don't know, by the end of it, I was just like, I felt like I burned myself out overthinking everything, like comparing and stuff like that. And I was just like, it finished. And I'm like, wait, it's done? Shit. Like, I didn't really get like have a good chance myself to like just watch the movie. It was more comparing. And I don't know. I don't know if I hyped myself up or what happened, but you
have to admit, there's no genre Jordan Peele. A Jordan Peele film is like horror, comedy, sci-fi.
It's a lot of things.
Drama. It's just like
so like
a mishmash.
I feel I've heard that sentiment from other people as well, and part of me, I'm trying to understand how did that happen? Like, what did the film do or not do to convey that or to get people in that set? And part of it for me is like I felt like watching the trailer for Get Out, just going purely on trailers. The Get Out trailer gives me a very much more direct vibe of like this movie's going to be about racism, and it's going to be a horror in the sense that they're going to kidnap him and bring him in and going to do horrible things to him. The fact that those horrible things were another layer of racism that was like was the extra twist that you and I were talking about. I think that was a cool twist, but it was already in that direction. It just took it further. This one, when I look at the trailer, it just feels like it's a copy of a family, and they're out to kill you, and like that's it. But the fact that there was this weird sci-fi elements and all these other things, and that there's more families, like I felt like there's a lot more unknown that was hidden in the veil that led people to be like, I wasn't expecting these things for obvious reasons. And then in addition to this being like, it's sort of like the Stranger Things season 2, what happened with you guys, where it's like you're familiar or you weren't familiar with the first time, and it was such a surprise that it has held such a memorable place. And this is again a theory that when you're coming into the second one, you're not only familiar with the type of vibe he might have, at least in a broad sense, but in addition to that, you now have an expectation. And I think that can help or hurt someone.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what it is. Like, I can't really explain it, but I do feel like I might have had a higher expectation for it, and it just didn't meet it. Like, every scene wasn't there for me and stuff like that.
When I watched it initially, though, I didn't, like, love it. But, like, the more I thought about it, like, we talked about it, and then I went online, looked at some stuff, and it just had me more and more interested. And I'm like, man, I'm still thinking about this movie.
To be honest,
and like little things will be like, oh, the movie starts with Lupita, the above ground Lupita, as like she's in pure white, and the one in the underground is in pure red. But as the movie goes on, there's more blood on her, and there's more red on her, and by the end of the movie, she's as red as the other one. It's like, oh, like symbolism, or like I don't know.
The last time I seen a movie where it made me like really digest it is Inception, where you're trying to figure out, damn, did he really wake up from that dream? Or
like, I was talking about this earlier today.
I can't think about another movie that made me like think like digesting it.
It's not as recent, but same director, Prestige. I thought about that one. I'm like, wait, if you think about the switch here and how he was behaving earlier, if you go back and watch that scene and like how that broke, like I got a similar vibe and I enjoyed that. And I know not like a criticism I heard from a few people, like I watched some reviews on YouTube and they were like, it required too much digging. And when I need a shovel to dig up all this stuff, like it's just too much. It's like, I don't want that. And I'm like, well, maybe that's how you view things. But like for me, I enjoy, like how you're saying, I enjoy when a movie has me like analyze and interpret things. And like, is that what it means? I wonder if it means like, to me, maybe I could see more connections with social class commentary, whereas it could be to you more about Trump and like his America, or not you, but like another person. Like each, I like that people could latch on to different ideas and make that like their emphasis.
And you know what I also like is Jordan Peele is the type of guy, he won't acknowledge theories. He likes it open ended, like it's your interpretation. That. Like,
I'm trying to think of some questions. What is there anything you would have? I've been using the same template. If is there anything you would have wanted to see more of that you felt like you didn't get enough of in this movie?
Tim. More Tim.
More Eric.
Well, he's never going to direct a movie with the white dude as the main. So sorry, it's not. Maybe we'll get like a side story. But, yeah.
I would have changed the way that the friend, or essentially the white family, would have gotten taken out, because it was just it was just a huge it was abrupt. It was just a huge contrast to what it was with the other one. So just a little bit of a longer struggle, not just like an immediate like taking everything out and that's it, like it was done. Like maybe just a struggle. They killed the two daughters
before offspring.
The way they did it there, and then the other two kind of fight a little bit, and like have a little bit of struggle before like they're taken out. But like they all came at the same time. And it was like, dude, these are assassins, dude. These guys are pros.
Well, they were also drunk. I'll give them that a little bit. Like they didn't they had scissors, just like a quick. But it would have been. I would have liked what you're saying, but because they have music playing, like play Good Vibrations. I would have liked to see like the husband just like tuning her out, and she's like just like dying in the background.
Exactly, something like that. Yeah, where it wasn't immediate, because like I feel like that's the purpose of these clones. Like they're not intelligent, so they wouldn't have done like a very coordinated. And the thing is that they're being told by the underground Lupita to do this, but like it's still, the coordination wouldn't have been that exact.
See, this is where I think some of a lot more of the flaws of the movie come out. Is it has too many things to ask the questions of, like the technical side of things, like how do these clones work? Like either like showcase all of the rules that operate with that, or none of it.
Yeah.
Like I would have really liked if we ran into like Lupita's in the basement, because she's chasing the other Lupita, and on the way there's like a Fallout style, like, hey kids, we're working on clones. You're a clone, like an info like.
Or Jurassic Park.
Yeah, sort of like that. Like something where it kind of just breaks down. I mean, it still fits within the context of the film, where it may be not telling you everything, but based on what you've seen already, you can bridge the gap of what you've seen versus what they're saying, and learn about the parameters of these things and where they came from and why and what the mission was or whatever and why it fell apart maybe.
Yeah.
Like that could have been a cool way of at least explaining it, whereas it kind of says it and then just leaves it alone. And now everyone's like, well, how are there so many of them? Or how do they work? Why? Like for me, one of the questions was, how is the little boy able to like reactivate his tethering or whatever, the power of persuasion, and just like get the other boy to walk backwards? Like,
I think it's just the power of action. Like if you do something like,
he was mimicking him a lot.
Yeah.
But it may, I don't know. Part of me was like, is it part of the tethering, or is it just like, it wasn't clear. And so for me, that room for error was. But
like for me, I can assume that stuff, and it can always be broken for me. Like I wouldn't have an issue. The biggest thing for me is like the father specifically, for the main family. That dude was clumsy. Like he was like an ogre. He was like extremely powerful. Like you were saying one time, like just broke the shit out of his kneecap with the just being able to hit him through the door.
The underground one.
Yeah, the Umbach or whatever his name is.
Abraham. Umbaku.
So yeah, the underground version is just like extremely like, but he's also clumsy. He's not, he's like doing everything slowly. Yeah. Like when he's chasing like the regular version of what was his name again? Andre?
Abraham.
The regular version of Abraham.
Yeah.
He was crawling because he had like a messed up knee after getting hit by a bat, and the other dude was like never catching up to him. The guy had to stop for him to catch up to him. So like obviously it's showing some type of clumsiness or
I think he wasn't like chasing him, because he ends up taking him on the boat to like, and when the chick gives him the signal, he takes him to the middle of the lake.
But they show clumsiness in the sense of like the boat like breaks down and he's trying to like
Maybe
the
that's
same
why
thing.
they're left in. Like, to me, this is the part where I can answer. I feel like that's maybe why they was a failed thing in the first place. They're not 100% like functioning or whatever else.
But that, for me, that doesn't correlate to the way the white family killed each other. Like, that was just pure coordination, like 100%. Like, everyone gets stabbed.
They
at the
weren't
same
like
time.
precision Black Ops people. They just came out behind
I
people
know,
that weren't
but
paying attention and
I would
stabbed
have
them in the
showed.
neck.
I would have wanted cleverness. Like, one of them would have, like, you know, like tried to, then she fought a little bit, and they both fell down, and ended, you know, like one ends up killing the other one. Obviously the underground ends up killing the regular version of one of the sisters or daughters, and then like you said, like there would have been a scene where.
But he wasn't that clumsy.
No, they weren't that clumsy. But like, I would have wanted to see something. I wouldn't want them to all get killed the way they did. It was just too abrupt. And I was like, what the fuck? That's completely different from what I just saw with the other family.
But
I
the
know
other
there's,
family.
I know there's Lupita's trying to like tell everyone, but I still don't think that those they're not coordinated like that. The underground people, like they would have been a bigger mess, you know. And it just. That didn't happen to me, and it just completely threw me out of like watching the film. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Okay.
And that's one thing I would change is just show a little more clumsiness to the underground people and not have like the precision. Everything else is fine. Like I didn't feel like everyone else was like a fucking hitman trying to kill everyone else. Obviously they did a successful job, but just this one specific group just showed such great coordination. It threw me off.
I kind of wish I didn't watch Shazam before this movie. Guys, Shazam was too funny. Like, so like I know Us was funny.
Yeah.
But like I was just like comparing it to Shazam. Man, I laughed a lot harder in Shazam, man. Like,
Yeah. The last time that happened to me was I saw Winter Soldier the same weekend I saw The Raid 2.
oh,
And
so you're comparing
like,
the action scenes?
Well, no, like there was a scene where Cap and Winter Soldier are fighting each other and they're
With the
dropping knife.
Yeah.
And when I'm seeing The Raid 2, I'm like, bro, you're like not on the same level as these.
The squeaky. The hype, dude.
That end fight, I watched that repeatedly. Anyway, but I did the same thing then. I'm just comparing two different
luckily I watched Us
first.
first and then Shazam, and then was disappointed by both. So you know that
So
worked.
it set you up for disappointment.
I kind of, you know what? It didn't scare me. Even like the most scariest moment didn't even get me. The one with the car and then she looks down. The runner,
When
the daughter
of Lupita,
that?
she's getting chased, and then they're behind the car, and then she looks down.
and her
Yeah.
feet are gone, and you hear like
That was the
car
scariest
moves.
moment, but it didn't even scare
I
me.
thought the abrupt sound of the door when they first locked in, they tried to get in. It was it was like louder than normal. They
I
like
think
bump it up.
I
a
think I
little.
jumped on that one. I jumped at something, and you laughed at me, you jerk. Anyway,
I think it was that
But
one.
the thing is, I didn't find the movie scary, but I found it suspenseful. Like there are moments where
They
like
had
there's quietness and
Yeah.
like everyone's like waiting, and then
The
like
jumps.
the door would like knock, or you know she would like look down. You're like, oh fuck, is she gonna be there? And all of a sudden you see the car move down.
So when I was watching it, I think I told you this. Like I was like, I thought it was only just a family, and then like the cops are coming in 14 minutes. I'm like, it's been like 45 minutes with the fucking cops.
I kept saying that to you, like it's been more than 14 minutes.
The cops should have already been there.
Yeah, I mean, I know Jordan Peele's talked about he's doing social horrors where he wants to do these films that are commentaries on like things he knows or has an experience with, or you know his very version of these stories. And it felt like this, if anything, got me excited for Twilight Zone. Like I thought it was very Twilight Zone like in a lot of ways, and I'm wondering what he's gonna do on his own versus, and also what Twilight Zone's gonna be.
See, his social like commentary, it doesn't feel tacked on, but
No.
I felt like Captain Marvel, that just felt tacked on, dude.
I feel like that's like a popcorn flick. Is there social
The
commentary?
refugees,
Okay.
the scrolls, and I was just like, it just feels
Oh,
tacked.
Captain! I'm thinking Shazam.
Oh, no,
because that's
no.
my Captain. No, okay, yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, yeah.
Not my captain. But, I think when I think of social horrors, I think of like social media. So like the scariest thing I can think of is like someone is mimicking you or stealing your information, like your online presence. Exactly. Fucking the Fulia, you know.
Or
Like,
someone trying to steal it back.
so like that's the kind of like social, like when I think of like social horror, that's what I think of is like social media or like.
Well, I think like he's coined this term, but I think it's like a good sci-fi or horror is a commentary anyway. Like it doesn't need to. You don't need to. Like it doesn't need to be.
You
to
can
have
think of
social in front of
you
it.
can think of Black Mirror, like social horrors.
Sure, but I'm just saying, like Frankenstein, and like it's a monster, and society looks at you differently, or zombies, or just like you're part of just like this mindless workforce. Or
Dawn of the Dead, the mall, we're mindless shoppers.
Yeah, like all the like what those things symbolize and what they mean and everything, like zombies and all that stuff. Yeah, I think this is his version of it, but I think maybe he's going for. I don't know. Like it's maybe not as broad. It's more specific, and he's trying to get at racial, or class.
I do think he's going with modern day like stuff. Well, I wouldn't say it's modern day, but like something that's been like it's coming prevalent. Back up again. Yeah, more prevalent now. Is what he's coming up with, and obviously I can make those connections. You know, like they're like it's like Native Americans that are trying to take back their land and stuff like that.
Just the poor working out, or. You know, for some, like I look at the singular character of like the Lupita that is in White, and like she came from nothing and fought in tooth and nail to get to something and was able to have a life. And so there's a story there, but there's a dark side to that. It's like very Game of Thronesy. It's like not everything is black and white. It's like there's grays to characters, and does that justify? Does that make it all worth it, or you know?
I think my biggest issue, like the movie was good. It had huge like plot holes that I noticed that just completely threw me out. There's that one. I felt like Lupita, the young girl, when they got swapped, she could have just left the underground and been like, "Oh, I got lost," and then they would have found her. And like, maybe, holy fuck, there's a copy of you.
I don't know. Maybe she was locked up and couldn't get out for a long time.
She was.
The two things I have about that, we've talked. I know. I know where you stand on this. My argument is
it's a maze.
No, she's a child, and she's in a place surrounded by like these weird adults, and like that's traumatizing. Like she had just saw a copy of herself choke her out, drop her, drag her, and then next thing she does, she's handcuffed, and then so she doesn't know where the exit is.
Yeah.
B traumatized of like where do I even start? Should I start looking? And who knows what they did to her? Like maybe they just started putting her like grab my hand and follow me, and she's not. If she was a teenager, I would have been more in line with your viewpoint.
But she would have grown into a teenager. Like,
but even then, like when you're so young, and
it doesn't explain how she left now. How she left as an adult, essentially.
She eventually, I don't know, got inspired and made decisions. I don't know. I feel like when you reach adulthood, something can happen. But
she
as
didn't
a
have
kid,
the education. She couldn't even speak.
She had to somehow like.
The thing is, we don't know what happened to her head, so I won't say for certain she could have gotten out, or for certain she could have.
She had to like somehow like teach them, and that would have took forever.
Or maybe, but yeah, by the time she got of age where she could, she's like, you know what? I'm not just gonna get out. I'm gonna fucking
get out.
Take them all out.
I don't know, man.
And train this one family to be a lethal assassin.
From the age she was down there to the age she is now, that's just a huge amount of time in between,
and like she has no real education.
I know, like, dude, but I still like. I feel like any kid would immediately leave that position, leave that spot. Oh, she was handcuffed. I will, say that she was handcuffed. Like she was handcuffed by the other girl, and who knows when she got out of those handcuffs. But there is a scene where she's dancing underground when the other one is dancing up, above ground, and that's when everyone's like, "You're different." You're different. You're real to the scene with the
I was telling Karosh about this. The plot hole. When you don't talk or you don't develop speech within a certain age, you can never talk for the rest of your life. And
she talked also as well about how she made her voice.
I meant the clone, the one that went up. Yeah. So she the danced,
challenges of that being like, how did you do that? Yeah. But like for the one that was down there with her voice, she was saying she was inspired because there's an actual like illness or disease or something, not a disease, but like it's something that can happen due to trauma where your voice gets fucked up as a result. And like that was interesting to me of like how she,
what's kind of cool
is that.
So they did this for the Stranger Things kids. They gave them homework to watch movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Jordan Peele gave her homework to watch horror films, and I didn't know the poker scene. It was Jack Torrance from The Shining. I was like, holy shit! And the limp too. Like, it's like, oh.
It's cool that she's got like a signature weapon. Like people look at her as like Ripley's got her big mech. You know, she's got this. You know, Jack has the door and the axe.
She's got a fireplace poker.
Fucking gets the job done.
Well, yeah, she did.
She took out a couple people.
She
Kill count, bro.
the choke.
Dude.
I like how that became a thing. Like they're like, I'm driving. I killed the most people. She's like, I killed one. She has 2 kills. Like,
Hey, rolls, dude.
kill streaks, dude. Unlocked the ability to drive a car. Apparently, shit. Like it had its moments. It had great humor in there. But again, like just plot holes threw me out, and I was like, it just kept kicking me out. Like while I was enjoying this movie, I would notice this. I'm like, that doesn't
There were
make any
plot holes.
sense.
I just feel like you had to have an open mind to like just watch it. It's out there. That
Yeah.
Even Get Out is fucking out there.
I mean,
Like,
yeah. I've watched, I like Prometheus, and that's got its share of plot holes. And I know many science fiction horror, that's the biggest challenge is like when you want to create rules to something and you don't always adhere to
Yeah, you
them
break them
or
or
you break them or you don't explain them fully, then it can take people out of that because they're like, wait, how does that work? Because what you've explained doesn't explain that. And I'm like, I understand that. I tend to lean on, I guess, the more like, there's something probably. Sometimes though, it's not like it doesn't work. It's like it's funny though, but where we each draw the line. It's like, oh, I can believe Wonder Woman being the shit out of this guy, but I can't believe that she would use that knot on her rope. Like it doesn't make sense. Where would she learn that
That's
knot?
a boat knot.
And it's like, really? Like that's where you're gonna get hung up on? Like I'm just making random shit.
No,
up,
yeah.
but I enjoyed it. I actually would say a lot of people that have been interested in seeing this that I know, they're like, no, it looks way too scary. And I'm like, Get Out was, I initially thought was going to be scary, was not as scary as I thought. It has jumps, it has a horror, terrifying idea. This is similar where it's like eerie, has terrifying idea, has a few jumps, but nowhere near as scary as I initially thought.
but what is La Llorona doing over there?
Or the kid over here.
I was earlier like when we were talking like that knock was loud. I was expecting like the security to just be like, oh.
You're one of us now.
So yeah,
That was my most hyped movie of
the year.
2019.
I mean,
What are you gonna look forward to this year?
I mean,
man?
Avengers, but I mean, I'm not too.
Nah, dude,
I'm
Godzilla.
Not too, oh,
Godzilla.
I'm more hyped for Endgame.
I mean,
Sorry, man.
you're about to.
I'm not
get
hyped
let
for.
down.
I'm not hyped for Endgame because retcon. They'll kill one character off, retcon it.
I'm okay. We're gonna go into Endgame now. I feel like it's gonna be interesting where things are left after this because it's a big conclusion to a lot of things, and I'm sure they're gonna do what you're saying where things get undone. I mean, Katie and I were talking where it's like, do you think Loki's coming back? I'm like, he has a show with Scarlet Witch coming, so I think so. And
Yeah,
she's like, what, with
retcon.
Tom
Retcon, dude.
Hiddleston? I'm like, yeah, that's what it said. So I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Wait, but could it be in the past though?
It could be. That's why I'm like, I don't know what that means, but it could be in the past. But
But
I'm
aren't
like,
they with Endgame? Isn't it done like this specific timeline? They're gonna just do something else after. I thought
No
this
one
was
said
the end
that.
of it. Okay, I feel like for some reason this is the end of it. Like I guess the
no,
name
because
portrays
it
it.
isn't
No,
because
no, it's
Spider-Man is after. They said that takes place after Endgame. The the whatever.
So at least we know
Far
he
From
comes
Home.
back.
Yeah,
Do you remember
and Nick
how?
Fury too.
Do you remember how I would end Endgame? That's the ending to Shazam. Shazam did it. DC, you did it. You did it, my boy. That was the ending to Shazam, dude. They did it or my prediction or ending.
They could do a few interesting things with Avengers after this. I feel like they've set up Kree and Skrull in enough content to make them familiar with people.
Mm-hmm.
There could be stuff they do there. I think in a few years when they start, maybe they build up these other characters like Black Panther and Captain Marvel more, and after like 2 or 3 of them, we get the seeds for whatever the next arc is. And
I can only see Avengers versus X-Men. I can't see any other storyline that.
But it's
I
possible
think
now.
I think they could do something with the introduce Fantastic Four, so that you could then bring in Doom, so that you could then bring in Silver Surfer, so that you could then bring in Galactus.
I want to say Kingdom Come.
That's. Do
DC.
you want to break the news to him? Or do you I would love to see.
I would love to see Kingdom Come.
I own like
the graphic novel.
Have
the whole
you
thing. I haven't fucking.
have you ever read Marvels?
Fuck, what's it called? I know what
They would
Alex
have
Ross.
to. I don't know how they would do it, but
Yeah. Well, Marvels. That's what the titles is Marvels. Yeah, but I think that could open up a lot of doors before they even get to X-Men, and I think X-Men would be another interesting.
Age of Apocalypse. That's the only thing that pops into my mind. Or Sentinel, but I mean that's
Avengers
been done.
versus X-Men.
Oh,
That
yeah.
ties in
Yeah.
Phoenix. That ties in a lot. I don't know. Maybe I think Dark Phoenix. If they could build Phoenix to be like a fucking Endgame level stuff, that could be cool.
Yeah, she's powerful.
She's yeah.
She would be the most powerful being in Marvel.
This guy.
I would say Thor, but if it's Dark Phoenix destroys galaxies.
And if they do it right, like they introduce Phoenix and then they introduce Dark Phoenix, like you're in for some good shit.
But we're
and they introduce Nova.
No, bro, that don't even. That's not even. My friend was like, one of my friends was like, "You want to go to the X-Men panel, the Phoenix panel?" I'm like, "No."
I'm good.
They're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Well, first it's a movie panel, so
That's
line."
not my movie.
I'm like, "What time is the panel at?" She's like, 3. I was like, "You better get in line at like
12.
10,
Oh, shit.
12." And they're like, "What?" I was like,
Yeah, and they'll cap it. No, actually, people will be in the arena when it opens and just sit there.
Like, hi.
My
I
name
don't know
Jeff.
body odor.
My name Jeff.
Yeah. WonderCon this weekend, guys. Aaron, yeah, that's a wrap for the Spoilercast.
this weekend, like,
Yeah,
by the time they listen
for
to
us, so it's going to be an amazing paradox. We're about to go through it. When people listen to us, we'll have already gone through it. It's like this time.
Ooh, Looper? Primer, I mean?
Yeah.
Why did I say Looper?
Kang. They could introduce Kang. That could be interesting.
Oh.
Is that no, I'm thinking of like the Ninja Turtles.
You never read FF, huh? Matt Fraction?
Yeah. Oh my God. No, wait. Matt Fraction. John Hickman.
Well, Matt Fraction wrote FF. And there's this cool storyline where like Human Torch comes back, but he's fucked up, like robotic. He's like, we got to go back. We got to save time. I was like, why? Because Doctor Doom, Kang, and Annihilus, they formed this like super being and they kill the Fantastic Four. He survives, but with damages. And he's like, we got to fucking stop him. No. So, okay, wait. Let me rewind it. Dude, this is a fucking, okay. So like the Fantastic Four, they're having a press conference. We're going to be gone for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. We got to just go back in time and do something and we'll be right back. And then like 3 minutes passes. Wait, 3 minutes are up. Where are they? They're gone. Fantastic Four disappears. Then the Human Torch from the future comes back. We got to prevent them from going back in time. Fucking good story. Fucking Matt Fraction.
The Jonathan Hickman run of Fantastic Four was amazing. I'll say that. And with those notes right there, where can people find you guys?
They can find me at the Filio 365 on Instagram, and then the Filio everywhere else.
At the last bosses everywhere.
You can find me at Kujo Prime. You can find us all at the Weekly DLC.
I'm the real Daniel.
Is the other person Daniel?
No, his name is Adam.
Oh man, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Now we're just promoting him.
He's like the tethered.
Shit. You're just buffing up his
uploads a pic-
profile.
And he's
anymore.
just looking at it, he's like,
He uploads a picture of you.
He's just standing there with scissors.
you can find us all at the Weekly DLC. Check us out. If you see us at WonderCon, say hi.
Yes.
If you're Tommy Wiseau, we'll say hi to you.
Yeah, hi,
And until next time, well.
DLC.
You later.